All right, so video on how to sign your next agency client in the next 24 hours without outreach or doing sales calls. And I know the skeptical Susan in your mind is being like, Sam, this must be BS. There's no way that is possible. Well, I'm going to prove you wrong in this video. And I can say that because I've done this. I've used what I'm going to talk about in this video to sign a client within 24 hours. And I never did any of the sales stuff that I didn't like. So if you're similar to me and you want to build your agency, but you don't necessarily love the sales part, you don't love doing the outreach, but you do like signing clients, then thank the YouTube algorithm gods because this video is for you. All right. So the way I was able to do this, and when I started my agency, I started taking it seriously, and I was able to sign clients every single, I was going to say every single week, but I didn't sign a new client every single week for the entirety of my agency. But I was able to sign for a prolonged period, new clients every single month. And I was able to do it without doing sales calls or outreach. And the way I did it was what I call strategic partnerships. So when I first started, I did what everyone told me to do. And I fucking sent cold emails, created a Lemless account, was it Pipedrive actually? I can't remember. I used a bunch of different softwares, started doing Instagram outreach and all that. And I remember I was living in UK at the time. I was actually living in a place called Lincoln, sat in my office, and I just quit my job. So I had like all the time in the world. And I was literally spending my entire day for weeks, maybe months, basically doing different types of outreach, and none of it worked. I remember I eventually got on a call with, I think it was like a surgeon, but it was like their assistant, and it was a fucking mess, right? And I spent fucking weeks, months, hours, every single day doing outreach. I didn't get a client from it. That was until I did this, what I'm going to talk about, and I know I'm kind of like, you're like, Sam, fucking get to the point of video. I am, but I just want to give you some context for the story. But as soon as I started doing this, I signed the client the next day. And then that's the strategy that I used to grow my agency from there out. Okay, so strategic partnerships, what is it? Instead of me doing the outreach and sending hundreds of DMs and sending thousands of cold emails every single day, I let other people do it for me. And I created partnerships with those people. Who were those other people? Those other people were agency owners who I partnered with. So strategic partnership was where I basically created an agreement with an agency, and effectively it was like white labeling, I suppose, or they were outsourcing the work to me. Whereas they would sign a client and they would give me the work. And this was fantastic for me because I just wanted to do advertising and marketing every single day, but I didn't want to do any sales stuff because number one, I didn't enjoy it. Number two, I sucked. I just spent a few months outreaching every single day and I couldn't sign a client. So I decided to lean into my strengths and I was going to say passion. It wasn't a passion, but it was what I enjoyed, which was marketing and advertising. And I decided to work smarter and let someone else do the outreach for me. And this was good because I partnered with agencies that had the whole client outreach, prospecting, sales stuff down to a T. They were just desperate for someone who could come in and get their clients' results with Facebook ads, funnel building, email marketing. That was me. I was their guy. So it was a perfect partnership. And basically what would happen is every time they would sign a client, they would just message me and be like, hey, Sam, we signed this client. Can you do the work for them? And I'm like, yeah. And then my income would go up. So I was able to sign clients, grow my income, and enough money to move out of Lincoln, thank God, and started traveling the world, moved to Medellin, Colombia. I didn't do any sales calls or anything like that, but I would get new clients every single month. So it was absolutely perfect for me. Now, if you love sales, love doing outreach, love sending cold email campaigns in instantly, you fucking psycho, then you don't need to watch this video. But for those of you who have a skill, or you enjoy doing the client work, but you don't like doing the sales, or you're just desperate to find a client or sign a client, then start with strategic partnerships. It's going to be a much easier way for you to earn money. I personally think that it's easier to convince an agency to outsource their work to you than it is to convince a potential client to hire you. Like if you're starting out with no skills, no experience, it's much easier to strike a strategic partnership with an agency because they're desperate for team members or good team members. It's much easier to do that than it is to sign your first client. From my experience, but I personally think that is 100% true. So how do you get or create these strategic partnerships? Well, I'm going to tell you the first way. Well, there's two ways, right? There's two ways that I would recommend. Number one is that you can find them on freelancer websites. So there are stuff like Upwork, where you've got literally hundreds of agencies on, thousands of agencies on there. There's like hundreds of posts every single day from agencies looking for people to help them with their client work. Now, all I did, and for my first two big strategic partnerships where I handled the work for these agencies, I got them on Upwork. They posted, I just said, hey, this is my experience. I can do the work for you. And they hired me, and then boom, within 24 hours, I was working on some Facebook ads for their client. And it's easy as that. And the competition on Upwork is really low. It sucks. There's a lot of really bad freelancers on there that, they don't even have basic communication skills. So if you can just show these agency owners that you're just like a normal person that can communicate well and you're willing to work hard, then it doesn't matter as much if you don't have like incredible experience. Like if you just show them that you're a normal person and you can be trusted, you're already winning most of the battle, honestly. That being said, obviously it helps if you have, results or experience. My job that I quit before I started the agency was being an advertiser. So I did have some experience, just caveat to that. But the main reason I think people hired me was just because they realized, this is a normal guy that I can trust to work with. So that's like the first way, right? And that's good because again, like you don't have to do any outreach to get these people. Like they're posting a job being like, hey, I run an agency and I'm looking for a Facebook media buyer. I'm desperate for them, need you to start ASAP. Can you help me? It's much easier to get that, sign that strategic partnership and start working with that client and start earning some money than it is to do outreach, okay? That being said, going to be a little bit of contradictory here. Point number two is actually you can just outreach to these agencies, right? Now, a few years ago, my agency was already running. We had an offer at our agency where we would help agency owners get clients. Like we would run the ads for the agency to get them clients. And it worked really well. One of the reasons why we were able to sign so many clients was because of our outreach. And I know you're thinking, Sam, you just said you're shit at outreach. Well, turns out you don't have to be very good at outreach to get agency owners to respond to your outreach. Okay? Does that make sense? You don't have to be very good at outreach to get agency owners to respond to your outreach. In the beginning, I outreached to every type of business, e-commerce business owners, all the local niches from roofers to surgeons to dentists to chiropractors. And I've built my actual agency. Like my agency now helps info products and coaches. And we've also done outreach in those niches as well. It is dramatically different when you outreach to agency owners. They are some of the most responsive motherfuckers in the world. If you message them on Instagram, if you message them on email, they're responding to you. I'd never got response rates like it because agency owners, they spend all their day in their emails and their socials because they're doing outreach as well. So they're responding to people who outreach to them. It was by far the most responsive niche I've ever outreached to. And like I said, pretty much over the years, tried to outreach to all these people. So it's very easy to get a response from an agency owner. It's very easy to find them because you just go to all the different Facebook groups, the mastermind groups, the school groups. You just search for stuff on Instagram. You can just search for people on Twitter, wherever socials use. It's very easy to find these people. And they always have either, they usually have the agency website in the bio. And on that website is going to have an email. Right? So it's like super easy to get the contact details or super easy to find the socials. You DM them, I guarantee it'll be like 50+% will respond to you. And then you can just create the strategic partnership that way. Did I do a video or a tweet? I can't remember. A tweet actually, a few weeks ago. And I was saying that media buying is still one of the most lucrative ways to make money online because of the basic economics of the demand for good, skilled media buyers far outweighs the supply. And obviously when demand far exceeds the supply, price goes up. So you can get paid very well as a media buyer because there's a lot of media buyers out there, but most of them suck. So if you're good, you will get paid well and it's going to be very easy for you to find work. It's actually the same with strategic partners, or, what some people would call contractors. Because most of the contractors that agency owners are using, they're hiring them, they're firing them because they suck. Agency owners right now are absolutely desperate to find good, solid team members that they can trust. And if you are a good team member, or what I call a strategic partner, and if you're good and you can get the client results, then these agencies will pay you a good amount of money. They will give you a percentage of either the retainer, or they'll give you a percentage of maybe the profit share that they have with the client. One of the strategic partners that I had, the first actual one that I ever had, it was on a profit share. So they had a profit share with the client. We were running like a webinar. It was for like a coaching client, and they got a percentage of the profit made from the webinar. I got a percentage of the profit that they got from the client. So my income was also going up the better results that I got for the end client, even though they weren't really my client, they were the agency's client. So don't just, because the easiest reaction to this type of video is to be like, yeah, Sam, but agencies are only going to pay me $500 to run their ads. And you will get some agencies like that, but maybe in the beginning, maybe you got to suck it up. If you don't have any experience, then yeah, maybe you do have to work for $500 a month for some of these agencies, but it's still per client. So, for me back then, if I had 4 of those agencies paying me $500 a month, then that replaced my full-time income. So it's still pretty fucking good. Like, in the beginning, maybe you just got to suck it up and earn a little bit less, but it doesn't take long to replace your 9-to-5 income. Anyway, but not every agency is like that. Like, the good agencies who actually have a proper business, who actually have proper clients and actually have money coming into the business, which is the ones you want to partner with, because these people are good at outreach and sales because they've got a lot of clients. Those business owners, they're not just some fucking kid trying to make money online with no money. They are established businesses, and they will be very happy and willing to pay you good money if you are a good strategic partner. So again, similar to the media buyer example, the demand for good strategic partners by these agencies far exceeds the supply. So if you can show and demonstrate to them that you are going to be valuable for their company, they will happily pay you a lot of money. Right? Are you going to get the full retainer? Of course not. It's not going to happen, obviously. Obviously, you're not going to get paid as much as them. Are they going to earn more money from the client than you earn? Of course they are, because it's their client, right? But if you're struggling like I was, and you're fucking going crazy, fingers bleeding from sending all the DMs, and the last thing you want to do is set up another quick question campaign and instantly, then maybe you want to give it a go. Is it the long-term solution? No. Did I go back to building my own agency and doing my own outreach and signing my own clients? Yes, I did. But for that first 6 to 12 months, it was the best decision that I ever made to stop doing the sales calls, stop doing the outreach, and start being a strategic partner. Because I don't like saying this word, kind of cringe, but I was getting clients on autopilot. Like, I would wake up one day and I'd get a message being like, hey, Sam, signed another client. Can you work on their account? Yes, I can. Boom, money in my account. Very, very simple. And if you just go, you can outreach to someone today and an agency owner will hire you within the next 24 hours. Guarantee it. Or if you go on Upwork today, you can get an agency owner to work with you within 24 hours. And you can sign your first client. And it doesn't rely on you being super good at outreach or sales, because you're talking to an agency owner, not the end client. So if that is you, if you are struggling, give it a go, just like I did, because like I said, best thing I ever did. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.